almost demolished all the dirt. Just shoveling this place flat, basically. And then putting in gravel! Again, deliberately making this thing ugly to encourage people to improve it. That's the whole concept with what I'm doing right here. Ugly ass gravel. Oh boy, so much grey. Such grey, very gravel. If I can get this right. Maybe I just won't worry about this thing. Hey look, the pigs actually knew to leave. You guys see that? I didn't actually have to punch any pigs. We'll see if they remain intelligent long enough to survive. This is one ugly piece of gravel, look at it. We've barely started and it's already ugly. If you want to know how to do it ugly, this is how you do it. Man. What a terrible place. What a terrible city. Your city square is just a mass of gravel. Wow. Oh boy. But that's also part of the lesson. One of the later lessons will be, you know, about making cities better or making places better. Because as an architect, that's kind of what you do. You make things better for people, make spaces better for people. And you know, there's you know, philosophically, it's quite profound and meaningful. I mean, you create spaces that makes people You create spaces that makes people's lives better. That's your job as an architect. And, you know, to teach you that lesson, I present you with an ugly-ass piece of gravel, and you need to make it better. There you go. Yes. But you know, I mean, you can imagine it, right? So I give you these kind of foundations and then gravel and then this kind of fairly basic city. And then if you kind of work at it, do all the exercises. Alright, pig, you don't have long to live if you stay like that. Alright, good boy. So I mean, I give you this stuff, and then you work on it for like several weeks, and then at the end you have this impressive city, and everything is much better than you started. I mean, that's good, right? I think that's a good set of exercises. I think it's a good thing to do. Like, you kind of end up with something better. I mean, the most important thing as a teacher is not to do stuff for your students. You're supposed to encourage your students to do stuff for themselves, and to teach them how to do stuff for themselves, not do stuff for them. Because you're trying to empower them by giving them the knowledge and the skills to do their own work. So you definitely can't do the work for them. In fact, sometimes you deliberately make things difficult for them. Just because, you know, the bigger the challenge, the more you have to solve and the more you learn. So sometimes as a teacher you deliberately make things difficult for your students. Because that's how you learn, is to solve problems and to figure things out for yourself. And hence the giant ugly piece of gravel that does not help you in any way with making the city a nice place to live. It's a challenge. See, that's why I was saying maybe that's too nice already. Like, maybe that plinth is too decorative already. I'll think about it. It is the first project, and so I guess when you do the first project, you want to give the students a little bit of help to start them off. I'll think about it. And maybe if you guys think that's too good or not. I mean, you can change any part of the stuff. There's no rules about having to keep anything as it is. In fact, if you change every single thing, that's probably better, because you're doing more building and more designing. But, is that too decorative? I'm not sure. Alright, almost done. Almost done. We haven't started on the roads yet. Again, the roads is gonna be just mostly gravel and kind of crappy designs. And again, like, part of the challenge is to improve the roads too, later on. I've left space for the roads, but I haven't designed them yet. Wonder that's gonna be a problem. Probably not. Probably not. We've left plenty of space. Like 9 blocks for each. Like 9 blocks wide for the road. That's a lot. Should be good enough. Well, as we get to nighttime, you can see that not only is this a giant piece of gravel, it's a giant piece of ugly, dark gravel with no light in it. Lighting, yeah, that's gonna have to be one of the things you have to think about for this thing. It's a big space. How do you do lighting? And if you just put glowstone in the ground, then that's not very clever. Not clever at all. You know what though? This looks a lot like all of these town squares I'm seeing in Google image search. There you go. A giant ugly piece of grey. Good luck. Alright, that's one of the exercises. Just to make that more interesting. Okay, so there's a market, there's a harbour, there's a temple. Maybe we should do the market first. The market is like the second exercise. Sorry, let me just check my list again. Yeah, the market is the second exercise. So the market has to be fairly well done. The idea is I put in the furniture, you put in the shops. Is that a good idea or not? I need to think about this. Shops aren't very big, neither. Let me read my notes. Interior, exterior. The most basic purpose of architecture is to provide shelter from the elements, from predators, from other people. Physical shelter, but also psychological shelter. Privacy, safety, and privacy converse an advantage, yep. And then talking about different levels of privacy and interiority and exteriority. Houses, shops, office buildings, alright. What I've described is quite difficult, whereas what I'm doing now is quite substantially more simple. Alright, so I think I'll just remove some of these cues. I might retain the slope of the land. Oh, how to do this? I mean, I can make it bigger. I can make it slightly bigger. I don't know if that's a good idea, though. Alright, well, let's prepare the ground. This side of it should be fairly self-explanatory. Alright, foundations. Stone brick foundations? What kind of foundations should we have? Let's have cobble foundations. And let's start here. Oops. Foundations. I mean, the thing is, if I put in foundations, I'm defining the edge of the building in a way. So, I mean, that's a clue for people already. Roads, what to do about the slope of the ground? What to do about, let's make things, okay, this is the second exercise, so let's keep it simple and not have slopes inside buildings for you. Alright, let's keep this simple. And a cobblestone foundation to start off with. Pig, you need to move before you die. You don't have long to... Alright, never mind. You don't have to move. Fine, don't move. Be that way. Alright, so there's that, and... that slope is complicated. Let's keep things flat. Alright, let's keep things flat and make things easier for people. Alright, let's do that. Wrong stone. Do I keep things flat or not? Yeah? Yeah, maybe have 2 stories? Possibly? Okay, I'm gonna keep things flat down here. But we have 2 stories. Although, you know, if I put in 2 stories, then where I put the floor will give people an indication as to how to do the floors. Let me think about this. Alright, let's just flatten this. I keep using the wrong stone. Never mind. Let me just flatten this first, and I'll think about the stories later on. The floors. Okay, we're gonna flatten... Actually, that's not even right. We're gonna flatten... this. Although here, it'll probably be cobblestone underneath there. I need to demolish dirt again. Alright, demolition time. We need to smash all of this. Actually, I should put in the boundary here first. Let me just put in the boundary here first. If I can do this. And flatten this bit. Oops. Flatten all of this. Get rid of you. How long have I been going for? I might want to take a break soon. Feels like I've been building for a little while. Alright, so we demolish all of that, keep things flat down here, keep things simple. And... grass, man. Like, I'm thinking maybe we should just not have bounding boxes on grass, because you can do... That's a bit strange. What if we just not have bounding boxes on grass? Would that work? Or would it make it so that you can't break it anymore if there's no bounding box? I don't know. Grass, slightly annoying. Alright, so this comes around here. But then at the back, it actually goes up. It actually goes and follows the ground up. Does it? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Alright. And then up here, there'll be like a retaining wall back here. Actually, this can be flush. So, behind here, the road goes up a little bit. That might be a bit awkward, in fact. I wonder... I need to fill this in. Because... foundations. Can you guys see anything? And, alright. Fill in the cave. Like that. And there. Oh. Do I have mob griefing? Let me just... How do you set mob griefing? Help? Set, help 2... Help 3... Oh, game rule. Game rule... Mob griefing... No. How do you... Mob griefing? Game rule mob griefing false. Alright. Just so that you don't have to deal with creepers and endermen and all that. Because you're the architect, not the endermen, not the creepers, you. Right? Right. Don't you just hate it when these endermen think they're so good at design and they just move blocks around? Who the hell do they think they are? Alright, there you go. Fill that in. And then back here the foundations go like... this. And then down like that. Alright. So there's that there, and then I have to dig out all of this stuff, which might take a while. You know what? I might take a break here, and then and when we come back in the next video, I'll have dug out all of this dirt, and then we'll continue on with designing the marketplace exercise. The grey. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next video.